Mariners win 5-3. They improve to 4-5 on the season, and they even the series against the Brewers at a game apiece with a chance to win the series with a win on Sunday. Go over the scoring plays. Mariners get 3 in the third. Julio Rodriguez singles home Samad Taylor. That makes it 1-0. Jorge Polanco grounds into a fielder's choice to score Brandon Crawford. That's 2-0. And then Mitch Garver singles to left to score Polanco. That is 3-0. Not a whole heck of a lot happens between the fourth and the eighth, but the Mariners do get something in the eighth. Jorge Polanco homers to right center for his first homer as a Seattle Mariner. Guessing not the last one. That makes it 4-0. Brewers do get back into this thing. They score 3 in the eighth. Jackson Chourio homers off of Austin Voth to make it 4-2. That scores Bryce Terang. And Rhys Hoskins hits a sacrifice fly to left to score William Contreras. That was scary. 4-3. Mariners get a little insurance in the ninth with a Luis Urias homer to left center. I called him Julio a couple times yesterday. Sorry. Luis Urias homers to left center. His first homer as a Seattle Mariner. 5-3. Mariners get the job done in the ninth inning and get what I felt like was kind of a needed win and a predictable win. I thought after the way they played, the way they came back a couple of times yesterday, I felt really good about them getting a W today. I felt really good about it, and luckily it worked out. The only negatives I have here, there's a couple of offensive negatives. Big Dumper did not have a good day. He's scuffling a little bit, hasn't gotten that power yet. Of course, he absolutely destroyed a baseball yesterday and had some good at-bats, so not worried per se. JP Crawford, a little more worried. 1 for 5 tonight with a run scored, so hey, it's not a awful game, but I want to see JP Crawford playing better than he is. 143, 231, 229. That's not going to get it done. It's all of 9 games. It's 1/18 of a season exactly, I believe. Right? Yeah, it's close enough. Yeah, I think it's 1/18. He's got to be better. The Mariners are relying on him an awful lot, and so far, not so good. So far, not so good. The biggest negative of this game is, and I listened to Skirvis. That's kind of a combination of Scott Service, right? I listened to Scott Service in the post-game show talking about wanting to get him out of the game. And, we're going to talk a lot about Bryce Miller in the second part of this. And this will be another quick one, by the way, because I just have still so many coughs that are just dying to get out of me. I didn't like that decision. I did not like the decision to pull him after only 78 pitches. And I really didn't like the decision to go to Austin Voth in that situation. Now it's 4-0. It's not the highest of leverage situations, but Austin Voth should not be a guy pitching in the 8th inning of that close of a game, in my humble estimation. He should be your multi-inning reliever, the guy you use when you're, down by 5 or up by 6. Obviously there's a wide variety of numbers there, but you know what I mean. I'm not using him in the 8th inning of a game that's still fairly close. And he did not pitch well. So, and again, this is not hindsight. This is something I would have criticized if I was calling the game live, that Austin Voth in that situation is not good. Gabe Spire really struggled. He does get the 1 out, but he walked 2 and he threw 2 of 10 pitches for strikes. It was ugly. And, he's kind of due for it. He's been fantastic in the early portion of the season, but he didn't pitch well. And he was very fortunate not to give up a grand slam. That 1 out, when Rhys Hoskins hit that thing, I think at least most of us thought that ball was gone. We thought that was a grand slam, and oh, what a different video we're talking about if that is a grand slam. Especially with how well, spoiler alert, how well Miller pitched over those 7 games. 7 innings. 2 games. But, yeah, I didn't love the bullpen decision tonight. I didn't love the decision to go to the bullpen, and I didn't love the decision of who to use. But again, this is the problem of having Matt Brash and Gregory Santos unavailable. And Ryan Stanek pitching yesterday, throwing 21 pitches, it's a tough situation. It is a tough situation, and hopefully the Mariners get those guys back relatively soon because they need them. They absolutely need him. We can talk about the positives, and we'll start with the biggest positive being Simply Seattle for sponsoring this show. Very best in Seattle sports gear for the Seahawks, the Kraken, the Huskies, Storm, Sounders, Cougars. You can find it all at simplyseattle.com. Once you find all your goodies, when you're at checkout, enter code MOLLYWOP15 and it'll take 15% off your order. It's a great deal from great people. MOLLYWHOP15, www.simplyseattle.com. There is a link in the description. Go use it and get some fun stuff. I mean, I don't think I could say enough good things about Bryce Miller today. The best I've seen him pitch as a Seattle Mariner. And he's had some good starts, but that was the best I've seen him. 7 innings, he gives up 3 hits, just the 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, throwing everything for strikes, showing that splitter. I believe left-handed hitters went 0 for 13 against him. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me on that. But that's massive considering how atrocious Bryce Miller was against left-handed pitching last year. I mean, atrocious is not hyperbolic. He was terrible. Right-handers are always going to have fits against him because there's a little bit of deception and there's a whole heck of a lot of spin. It's hard to pick up the baseball against him. But that splitter is going to be a difference maker if he can get ahead enough to use it. And he certainly did on Monday, or whatever day it was. Monday. He certainly did on Saturday. Maybe I'm just looking forward to Monday. I can't say enough good things. He was fantastic. It's great to see, too, after Castillo was mediocre at best, Kirby was worse than mediocre at best, Gilbert was maybe slightly above average, but closer to average. To see Miller step up like that, significant. Significant is an understatement. Huge start from him. And, you know, I thought he looked okay against Boston. Take away the 3-run homer and he looks really good, but you can't do that. And you can't take away the guys he lets on base before the 3-run homer, you know? The stuff looked good. The overall results were only okay. Everything was okay today. Beyond okay. A star performance from Bryce Miller. And the Mariners kind of needed it. Kind of, sort of, definitely needed it. Offensively, great to see Julio get a couple of hits, drive in a run. You know, I just don't think he's seeing the baseball all that well this year early. He's had some called strikes that were clearly called strikes. Striking out too much, no question about it. But tonight was a nice reminder of it's Julio flipping Rodriguez. The middle of the lineup actually was really good today. The 2-3-4 in particular, we'll call it top to middle. J-Rod has a great game. Jorge Polanco has a very solid game. Great to see after his scuffles. Mitch Haniger with another couple of hits. Mitch Garver drives in the run. Dylan Moore gets on 3 times. Steals a base, does get caught stealing as well, but shows off a little bit of those wheels. Samad Taylor looked fine in his couple of at-bats. Luis Urias, I still want to call him Urias, the name that's struggling with me, or I'm struggling with it, is driving the baseball. He's driving the baseball. I think that's 3 straight games with extra base hits. The power's there. It's an interesting profile because Urias coming up as a prospect was hit over power and then some. And then San Diego made massive swing changes to the guy. Or actually, it might have occurred more in Milwaukee when he made the massive swing changes. Either way, now he's much more power over hit. You know, flailed a little bit in those first few at bats, but if he wants to go 1 for 4 with a homer every other game, I'll take it. Obviously, that's not going to happen. Luis Urias is not going to hit 81 homers in 2024 or be on an 81 homer pace. But it's nice to see the extra base pop. It is nice to see indeed. Yeah, just a very solid all-around game. And I can't say that I've seen that too often from the Seattle Mariners in these first 9. Very encouraging. Very encouraging. But let's just go back to Miller again. Like, that's the type of stuff you see from top of the rotation starters. And only needing those 78 pitches, so efficient. There are a lot of really talented hurlers in baseball, but a lot of them aren't particularly efficient. When Bryce Miller is at his best, and maybe obvious point is obvious, good pitcher, when a pitcher does good things happen, But you know what I mean. Bryce Miller has that ability to get you through innings cleanly. There's not a lot of stress on that arm. Super impressive. Super impressive, and something that reminds you that this rotation is really good. I know Castillo has been disappointing over his 2 starts. I know Kirby and Gilbert have one great start each and one not so great start each. I have no idea what we're going to get from Emerson Hancock going forward. And by the way, he starts tomorrow against Colin Ray. But I'll take those 4 against anybody. Anybody in baseball, I'll take those 4. Good win. Tomorrow, like I said, Emerson Hancock against Colin Ray, I believe, for Milwaukee. So, yeah, were you as impressed with Miller as I was? Did you hate the decision to go to the bullpen as much as I did? Hate's probably too strong a word. Just didn't like it. Strongly disagreed. But it happens. And it happens with every major league team right now. They're going to be protective, and there's reasons for it. My goodness gracious, the amount of injuries we have seen from pitchers already is just sad. It's sad, and I will not be surprised if MLBPA starts throwing some tantrums, and deserved tantrums. Pitch clock. Pitch clock, pitch clock, pitch clock. So yeah, good win. Be back at it tomorrow. Please hit like and subscribe. Should be a fun one. I have cool news to tell you on Wednesday that has nothing to do with this channel. Actually, I'll tell you Tuesday, but yep, that's a good time. The dog is currently pulling the microphone out. Talk to you soon.